Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, hope you're all doing alright out there. So I've had a pretty busy week. I have done videos on the DRZ, as you've seen. I ordered the parts in and I was going to get on with that a couple of days ago, but I then realised I didn't order some seals, and if I don't change the seals, what's the point in changing the bearings? They won't last 5 minutes. So I'm a bit delayed waiting for those seals to turn up, but that's fine, that's fine. Unfortunately the weather's been really mank, so I've not been able to really get out and ride much. And also I had a day last week which I thought I might have been getting appendicitis, for Christ's sake. Turns out it was probably just IBS. I've had IBS for years, but it was in a strange place in my stomach. It wasn't quite normal. It was like centralised and off to the right, which is not the same as what my IBS normally does. And it was bad. And the next day I felt terrible, but the cramping and the pain had gone away. And by the next day I felt kind of okay, but just a bit, a bit beaten up. No idea what that was. But as I say, it wasn't quite like my IBS when it does flare up is like. It used to be a lot worse when I was younger. I've learned how to control it, mostly. Control your stress. But it was odd, and it had me concerned. I was like, if this isn't gone by tomorrow, or if this gets any worse, my temperature starts going up or anything like that, I'm calling like 111, or not 111, NHS advice line. Oh, it's very... Oh, right, okay. If it's that flooded there, Duster, you might want to wait for the flood. There's going to be a flood. It rained a lot. Just a little bit flooded here. Wait till you get round the corner. It may not be. The council was supposed to have fixed it, because this floods every single year in the winter. But recently they had to close the other... No, they didn't fix it very well, did they? Oh, it's better. Oh, I don't know yet. This isn't the worst bit. Oh no, this might be. Oh, no, there is another section around there, and they're slowing down for it. That tells you something. Yeah, the council had to close the other road at night for 4 nights, so they had to get this one working again, and apparently they did something to fix the flooding. But it's only been like 5 days, and look at it, I don't think they fixed the flooding! Oh, XJ6 adventure. Classic thumbnail text. Could you slow the fuck down? More. This is properly deep. Oh, that reminds me actually, recently Reno, who works from home as you may know, had to go into her head office, so she took buses and trains basically because it was the easiest way. It's quite a long distance. But on her way back, she got all the way back to, the train station up here, and she got off on the wrong side of the tracks. And because they've locked the gate over the tracks, she couldn't go back in through the door because her ticket had now expired because she'd returned back, she couldn't scan back through, and they'd closed the gates. So she ended up having to walk around. Now because of this, she missed a bus, and the knock-on effects of all this were that instead of being home at like, maybe 8:30 in the evening, she was going to end up being back at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, nah, that's silly. Maybe consider trying to get a taxi, but then blah, 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 and she had to get money out. So it was just like, do you know what, do you want me to just bring you a helmet and I'm going to come and get you? So I got a helmet and gloves and stuff and took them with me. And I went to pick her up. Well, on the way, I had a bit of an instant karma moment, which I'll run you through on the road that it happened on. I'm annoyed I didn't have my camera with me at the time, but it was dark, you probably wouldn't have seen much. But let me tell you the tale of some instant karma. The wind is blowing hard, the rain is coming down, it's been bad all day. There's rain warnings and wind warnings in place, and I'm riding along this road right here. And I'm doing a little over the speed limit, even in those conditions. I felt it was, it was clear enough, it was safe enough. I felt okay. Not a lot, a couple of miles an hour. But this Aldi was sat up my butt, and knowing that the wind over the bridge was really bad, I decided to duck in here. So I literally ducked in there. By the time I was in the little section, he was already past me and booted it. And oh, he booted it all the way up here, and oh no, it's gone now. And there was a flood from that side of the road to that side of the road, from here down to about here, and he hit it at about 50. The splash, the steam, if he lost bits of trim, I wouldn't be surprised, because it was like a low Aldi hatchback. Now, if I'd intended that, like I knew there was a flood and was like, go on buddy, knowing he'd boot it off once I got out of his way, that would have been mildly evil and, well, funny. But because I didn't know that, it was very surprising to me, and I was just more like, oh shit! You know, instant karma. The only reason I moved over is because he was following me so close, and I was concerned about them being behind me coming across the bridge with side winds. Oh, Mr. Pigeon, he became a squidgeon. I've had similar things happen in the past with speed cameras, and obviously I don't know if that person got a fine or not, but they definitely booted it past me into a speed camera that I knew was there and was hanging back for. You know, the thing is, like, when someone's going slower on a bike, there's normally a reason for it. My, the XJ6 never sounded so quiet. I'd like to see what the police are going to do in this scenario. The same thing, so I'm going to call that okayable. No, stopping on a green. Why is this so busy? There is no reason we can't turn left right now. Why is the filter light not on? This has been doing this a lot lately, and I don't get it. Like, there is absolutely no reason for us to be sat here right now. What are you doing? What was that even about? Have you got any instant karma stories from your time on the road on a motorcycle or in a car or anywhere really? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new here. Help support me on Patreon if you'd like to. And I will be doing work for the DRZ soon. Catch you next time.